while I'm still a kid, I come just like a thief in the night to do everything that it says that the thief come to do. Because if the homeowner would have known the hour that the robber was coming, then they wouldn't have left their house. They'd have been right your way. And it wouldn't have been so easy. But for us that was subjected to other dogs, we were made a sacrifice so that the others could get away. So we could come together. We could come together. We don't have nothing else to live for but to protect you from going through what we already been. Walking through in the woods, getting high, behind crack, humiliated. And the other thought there was a way out. 17 years in prison. But for the one that can make it through, when you make it through these circumstances, how you led in prison. He was such a diligent leader in prison. He learned how to lead right from a one-man cell. He was confined to that cell for 8 years. God had to confine him for 8 years because the Lord knew what it took for me to get it. I didn't get mad or kicked out of the organization for making a mistake, by making an unnecessary decision on somebody's life when I don't have the authority to do that. But for those that think they do, they also in there, they think they have the authority to say what they can never die. You see? So why am I going to wake up out my sleep and allow a man that thinks like that to be my ruler? That's why I fought. If you just want to know the reason why, Moses D fought to be a commander, to be a leader, to be in charge. You see, and when I bumped their heads with those type of people that was in that type of authority, I had to let them know. In order to save your life, in order for me to agree, because we all on the same committee, in order for me to agree, I got to say, show me in the concept and for the sake you made well, if you can show me the concept, I say the concept is spelled to my ideology. It's without question. And so if the decision that you're making right now is such a decision, then it must come from the concept. And if you get forward to the thing concept, where it specifically say that other person's back, then he live and never get. So let it be that. But I just created for myself. I just created an image for myself. Save it. Your day. I just made an enemy. It's just what's going on behind the scenes. What they don't understand. They think it's easy. Now I got a nigga that just waits for me to make 1% that I can talk my way out. So if you know these things, then you allow your parents to fix your kids. So when the charge brought against, you will be judged not by the incident that you accuse of allegedly, but by the contents of your character that's going to enable you to walk out. That's not what you think. That's not his character. See, you got to come up, you got to learn how that if a person is trying to condemn you, literally condemn you because of what they see, logically, then you got to build your character. You got to build your character. And you got to allow your character to be what they're going to judge it when it's time to be judged, especially when you're being judged by ignorant people, right? That's why I say, you can be what you are. But what you going to do is what I'm coming from, so much more. Don't actually trouble. What you going to do with it? What are we going to do together to build this? Are we just going to let the position of it see? And we're going to just let the position of it, which is the main order of it. When there's no order, there's nothing. A man without knowledge of himself is just like a tree without roots. He can't grow up himself. Neither can he ever manifest that which is logical and righteous in the way for us to produce and materialize and flow. Man, I'm doing this till I die. I am who I am. And my concept says, but every action, attitude, and behavior will always dimly reflect the positive, dignified purpose of my life, the simple See, I think by myself on a journey all alone by myself, but I'm built for it. I was alone, but I was never alone. You see, no matter what it took, I had to keep together what I promised the Lord that I would do, because I didn't pray for a dollar. I prayed for wisdom. Solomon prayed for wisdom, but the Lord told Solomon, because you didn't ask for the riches, I gave it to you anyway. All you wanted was wisdom. From the wisdom, you can get the riches and know how to keep. You can come from the dishes and the dust. My first year in recovery, I made the front page of a Pensacola news channel, a conservative newspaper that ain't no gangster disciple of my caliber have ever graced the front page of a conservative newspaper. Can't easy like that, man. I made the front page. Send it back. Okay. Then I was called to Mississippi to speak at the Mississippi State Capitol. Still broken development. Still TV. Ain't no other gangster on first. I had Fogo with me, but who's on first? The one that was called. And I got my brother to reach my hand out. He said, come on. Well, if I'm going to be seen, I want y'all to be seen too. Some of the strongest order in my city. Come on, let's go, bro. You understand? Every opportunity that was given to me, I wouldn't have got quick to bring it with me. So we can mobilize and multiply. Not to fall and let it die. Because I come out the dead. I didn't come from down the street. I came out the dead. I won't stay clothes for probably 10 days. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, probably weighed 100 pounds. Because I was a crackhead. And you never seen me overcoming my struggle. Nobody ever seen me coming out. And the only reputation I had was for my fight. Going to prison for 17 years, fighting behind the wall. In leadership. Not fighting for my own self, but fighting for those that can't hold up for their own self. Because they ain't thinking enough. They thinking strong enough against these monsters that's in here thinking 24/7 of a way to kill you when you mess up. They ain't contemplating the way to let you take it. You see? Then I had to put in a cage by myself, months and six, for 8 years. That's what they say. He said, we forgot you was in there. He said, I'm glad you did it, because you gave me just that much more time to study. You gave me just that much more time to read. You gave me just that much more time to learn other languages, to study other footnotes, to go a little deeper with my knowledge, with my wisdom, with my understanding. You gave me just enough more time to accumulate enough values and principles about my life that I could be clean off track for 5 years and not relapse. But if I look into the system and see why everybody's relapsed, because they don't stand on a solid foundation. The pyramids keep it stand because we stand on a solid foundation. That's why it's a myth. That's why they stood the test of time. I said I stood the test of time because of all the things that have hit me, brothers and sisters, and tried to give me a relapse to go back. I stood just like this, looking right at it. And instead of falling, I grew. And instead of losing, I multiplied. The Lord say, son, you don't need nothing. You go on this journey to me. He said, everything you need is going to be there when you get there. I came to Pensacola. I got off the bus with a pair of shorts, close shirt, close shoes on, because I sold it for crack. But when I got here, I multiplied. See, I was smoking crack when I got here. You see? But it took for me to catch a charge here and go to jail, and it put me through parole court for 18 months. I got pissed 2 times a week for 18 months. You think I didn't hurt? You think I didn't want to leave? You think I didn't want to be there? You think I didn't want to go back to doing the only thing I knew how to do? But I did go back. Why? Because I stand for something I believe in. It's called growth and development. That's called growth and development. That's called growth and development. Because growth and development gave me an opportunity because of my experience. Because of my experiences, it gave me an opportunity to have something to believe in when I had that opportunity.
opportunity to get clean and sober. So gang prevention was handed to me right there on a platter. There it is, Kenny. Now you put it together, Musa G. Gang prevention. So you put it together. I don't have to tell you how, because I know you know how. Because you know that in the process of going from old to new, there will be complications. There will be some that believe and some that don't. There will be some that accept you and some that don't. But you got to understand and keep in mind that life is not undone by the mistakes that we make, but what we do to correct them. The very thing they laughed about yesterday is the very thing that make us great today. My story is based upon crack addiction. You know why? Because look how I came through and where I came from. So I'm encouraged and inspired to tell you who I was, so you can see why I am who I am, and why I don't play, and why I stands up and not lay down. Because even in darkness, it couldn't knock me down. It couldn't keep me down. I stood up, and I stands up today because I got a reason to. Because if I profess to be everything that I said I was in darkness, why can I be more in the light? Why can I go get my brothers and reach out and embrace them and say, come on, brother, I got an opportunity. Let's go together. I said, let's go to Mississippi. Let's go to the state capitol. Not go down the street in the trap house smoking a blunt. That's not what I do, playboy. You know what I'm saying? I say, let's go to the state capitol where we ain't never been before. Put your best suit on. And let's go in there and speak freely about change and opportunity. Let's go in there and talk about the confines of the ills of what we've been through. The things we were subject to when we were confined in them penitentiary. We were punched all in our face by K9, kicked all in our mouth. You understand? We were picked up in the air and slammed down on our neck by 2 and 3 and 5 folks at one time. When we had to fight battles, you never had a one-on-one fight because you don't got the reputation of fighting one-on-one. Every time they come at you, bro, they come in 3 and 4 deep. It's just by the grace of God, I'm glad they ain't come with knives. You understand? So Musa G can live to see another day. You understand? Because that's the life I choose to live by. And if necessary, to die for, homie. But not unnecessarily. And the worst thing I can do is see a brother that don't understand who he is, know what he can accomplish and what he can do. But he don't understand who he is because he don't know who he are. He don't know. He don't have the knowledge. So it's up to me as a leader to make sure if you in my jurisdiction, the first thing I want you to do, bro, is spit your basics from your heart. Everybody on the street got a code. Everybody got something that they honor, something that they stand for. Don't you never change that. Don't compromise your integrity for nobody. And if you stand inside of something that's bigger than you, you need to have a mindset to make a difference with it at some point. Because you're going to run into something that you don't agree with, brothers and sisters. You just going to let it be bad. You just going to let that little brother be hurt when you know his mom and daddy was smoking crack and he's just trying to fit in the best place he can. He ain't got no clothes. He ain't got no shoes. But he'll do anything you say do to get it. And you got the means to not allow him to go condemn himself to prison for the rest of his life when you can just take him to the mall and buy him a pair of Jordans, man. That's the same money you're going to throw away in the club buying drinks. But that little brother loyal to you, man. He'll do anything you say. And then when he get condemned to prison because he took a charge for you, what type of leader is that? But you know, I'm just bringing you the facts of why nobody never stood over me. Because I know the difference. Because I know they're not what they say they are. And I ain't have no reason to not mobilize in the dignified way that I did and give the way that I gave, bro. Because when I was smoking crack, I didn't hide. You see me walking up and down the streets in North Gulfport so I can go in any church and give a testimony, man. I say, Lord, don't save me. Save the testimony that you gave me. Because you said in Jeremiah 29:11, I didn't create you to harm you, but to give you a future. To give you a reason to stay alive. To keep taking care of yourself. To keep standing up right in the middle of darkness because the Lord said, I will prepare a table for you right in the presence of your enemies. He said, you know, I walk through the valley of the shadows of death and utter darkness. I don't fear no evil. Because you either going to do what you're going to do or you ain't. When I was in the crack house on Monroe, when the little brother came in there with the gun in his hand, he said he was fixing to kill me. And I took him and that gun and broke the total door down with him. Because he came talking. You see, all the other 5 times I had a gun put to my head while I was smoking crack. People I done crossed out. Somebody I done crossed out. Somebody I done stole something from and caught me slipping and put the gun right here while I'm getting high. You know how scary that was? Still, nowhere to go. When I got shot November 28, 2003, 4 times up at the apartments on Mississippi Avenue, they took me to Garden Park. 7 days later, I was right back in the crack house on Monroe. You see, it wasn't enough. 17 years in the Mississippi State Penitentiary wasn't enough. From 1991 to 2001, after 10 years, I got out. 2007, I went back and did 7 more years mandatory for a nickel piece of crack. I told the judge, I'm not pleading out to no 7 years in jail for no dime piece. You might as well crank it up. I said, go down to Salvation Army and get me a suit to put on because we going to trial. So the judge told my lawyer, go tell him to plead guilty. We're going to give him 6 months in Whitfield. Because he crazy as a road lizard. I said, okay, Your Honor, I'm going to plead guilty. He said, I'll sentence you to 7 years in the Mississippi State Penitentiary. I said, okay. He said, not only that, but I sentence you up under the 1983, which is the little bitch of habitual statute. Meaning, them 7 years day for day, nigga, since you want to be smart. See how I win? You see how I win? You see how I make supposed to be dignified people go against the dignified law? I make them go against the righteous, dignified principles of the law. You understand? That's how you win. You make them go against what they pledge to live by, if necessary to die for, without flaws and without unrighteousness. Because a dime piece of crack ain't worth no 7 years day for day. Now, who wouldn't be mad? who wouldn't be mad, brothers and sisters? Who wouldn't be mad? Yeah. But I did it. I did it with ease. I did it like a giant. I did it like I'm supposed to do it. December 26, 2002, we was coming back. I was coming home from offshore. I had my wife at that time in the car. She was pregnant with my daughter. She had her 3 kids in the back of the car. We flipped over 3 times, 5 times, 65 miles. We flipped over. I fell asleep behind the wheel. Walked away without a scratch. But while we was flipping, the kids had went through the back window, but they still alive. So while we flipping, my mind said, is her and my daughter, the 2 most important ladies in my life, is her and the daughter that's in her womb. You see? So while we flipping, I reached up to grab her and hold on to her so that the impact of the fall can break my back and not hers. Because she got to live. Because she got to bring my daughter into this world. You see? That's how warriors, that's how protectors think. And we walked away without a scratch. And everybody's still here. So you have to understand the reason why I protected her like that was because she chose to stay married to me even when I was a crackhead, to give me a place to sleep, to feed me when I was hungry, to deal with my absence, because I didn't want to bring my addiction home around her and her kids. So I chose to stay out in the streets as long as I needed to get it all out. Then they would come out there and get me and bring me home, welcome me in over and over and over and over again. So it was no more to give. And I respected that. Then she was free to get married again. I pray that they had a great life. Even my first wife. You see? When there was no more, then there was no more. One marriage was 7 years and the other was 6 years. But the way I value those ladies was because they was able to put up with Musa G. So you see, brothers and sisters, it's righteously favorable for me to say gang prevention revival. And when you see it manifest, you're going to say, he said it. He said he was going to do this. He said that people were going to want to adapt the idea. All these youth programs in my city that I'm in today, the youth programs have been put on hold. You know why? And they ain't even adherent to gang prevention. You know why? Unrighteousness, brothers, sisters. Man, look, I swore to never see another 14-year-old kid pushing a crack pipe as long as it had anything to do with me. Because I did not know what the drug was when it was introduced to me. My uncle said, here you go, nephew. He was high as a kite. He said, here you go, nephew. You want to destroy me? Because you already thinking you feel that good and that it's going to be that good for me. It don't work like that. Just like DMX was when somebody he trusted. Throughout all his career, he was living up under the concept of an addict. These 5 years, y'all see me? Y'all hear me talking? But before this, y'all, I was nothing. I was nothing. But look what God gave me. He gave me an opportunity to be more. He gave me a testimony that he knew I would value. And nobody can change that. Nobody can change these 5 years that I done made it without a drink or a drug, without a cigarette, without a being in a club, without being in the streets. All of it. The obsession for all that is gone. But I'm still a lion, just like you see. I still roar, just like you see. Because I have to make it clear that I'm not going to tolerate it around me. And if you care anything about me, I shouldn't even have to tell you. And instead of smoking that blunt, good brother, with all the knowledge, the experience that you got, with a sober mind, you can rule the world. You won't have no more struggles. You want to be rich, you'll be rich. With no complications, I promise you. Without nobody saying this or saying that about you. Clear your mind. Go without it. Look at Musa G. If he able to do it, surely you can. That's all. That's the word I bring. And I lock it down just like that there. I stand by me. I stand with me. I stand for me. But I'm open to embrace anybody that's willing to be embraced by me. I love you, brother, and only you can change that. You see, I've never been prejudiced or biased towards anybody that stood for what they stand for. Ask them, was I that type of nigga in prison? I was just like my brother. My brother E. Fresh taught me how to be loved by both sides, because he was loved by both sides. He was loved by the gangsters, the Stones, and the Vice Lords. I said, I want to be like my brother. I want to be loved by everybody. So I learned it from my brother. And it comes, and the only way you can accomplish that, you got to know who you are. A man without knowledge of himself is just like a tree without roots. He can't grow or develop. I studied Bismillah, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawm Mikdeen, Iyan Nakadu, Iyan Naskata'in, Iyan Sarata Mustaqim, Sarata Lazin, and Ain to Layhim, Gabriel Makdubi, Layhim Lagdalin, Amin, Allahu Akbar, Shadu Lan, Illallah, Assalamu Alaikum, Maktullah Barakatu. Sitting in a cell for 8 years, you can accomplish the greatest things. You can close your eyes and lay back and picture yourself on them stages. But what you going to do when you get on them stages? What's going to be your topic? What's going to be your agenda? With all that experience, it shouldn't be hard. Change. When I said I came to make a difference, I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying, brothers and sisters. And I came in peace. I came with peace of heart, peace of mind. I just came giving it everything I got. Just like I did when I was incarcerated. I gave it everything I had to live well. Man come in prison, he don't understand where he at. And here go them brothers, they ready to suit up and put the mask on and go take his canteen. 5 of them. These some ruthless, hardcore niggas, man. But whose jurisdiction is this him? Huh? So you can't go to them vultures, all 6 of them. You can't just go over there and tell these niggas what not to do. Now, let's get it understood. You just can't go tell them what not to do. But I'm going to ask y'all, literally, I'm going to ask you, with all due respect, show me in the concept where it say that that's what you're supposed to do. Because when you get finished, when the smoke clears, you're going to have to answer to the concept. Unless you don't want to stand for it no more. But if you want to continue to stand for that concept you stand for, you're going to have to show me in the concept what part told you to go do what you did and bring that undue heat on this domain. That's where the consequences going to come in at. So you can go get the canteen, get the whole sack, eat all of it up, all the tuna fish, noodles, chili, cakes, donuts, whatever it is you want to eat, go on and eat all of it up, bro. Because you're going to have to answer to the committee when it's over with, you heard? Ain't no way around it. Because I repeat myself, I say again, this is my jurisdiction. And I wouldn't have been in a position to be a commander in it if I wasn't worthy. Wouldn't it have been better to just go ask that man for something if he was hungry? No. And then here's the best one right here. The concept, you want to beat somebody in, talking about blood in and blood out. But they don't learn nothing while they're in. They just got beat up and blooded up. Now they're a part of something that don't even have no structure, don't even have a foundation. So wouldn't it have been better to just ask him what it is that you have to offer us that we don't already got? We got enough problems already within the folds of this cipher circle. You see, the base of our square is 90 degrees at each angle, which makes it a 360-degree cipher circle. And it ain't not one productive thing have been accumulated or produced within it. And now you want to beat somebody else in that ain't got and that can't think. So I think it'll be more logical to ask what it is that you have to offer us that we don't already have. That way, at least I know I'm bringing in a productive mind, because it's going to be up to me to accept his answer. That's Musa G. Because that's righteous. Because that's diligent. You understand? I have no right to oppress you, brother. I have no right to take from you your liberty and your rights just because you in this circle with me. That's why you're supposed to know your basics, so you know when and when not to speak. And if you got another agenda, then you are able to produce it logically, to make difference, to make change, to make opportunity, to make us willing to allow this right here to materialize and flourish into something great. That's my life, man. That's my concept. That's what I stand on, brother. I'm 48. I'll be 49 April the 16th. 49 years. The only thing great about 49 years that I can say was 5 years clean and sober. 100%. Because if I would have played with it a turn back in any type of way, you would have knew about it, because I wouldn't have never been able to turn back. You see? And I didn't have to go to a prison cell to achieve this liberty and this greatness, this testimony. The fight was straight up, fist to fist. But everything that was in front of me as an obstacle, as an opposition to stop me, I had to break through the barricades. I had to stand up. I had to let my Heavenly Father know one thing, that what you gave me, I honor that, just like I honor the Lord, and I honor God's grace, and I honor the opportunity that he gave me to be who I am. Disciple. See, when I say it, I mean it. Disciple. When I say it, I mean it. Disciple. I done been on the front line, and I'm going to continue to be on the front line. You see, I was on the front line in prison when they came to me and said they were scared. And when the fight was made, the nigga called me out. And the nigga stood up there in the front with 2 wheelchair pegs in his hand. Nigga 3 times bigger than me. But he ain't more determined than me. Because I had to go. And I went. And I did what I went to do. And it wasn't easy. Was I scared? Yeah, I was. But that made me just that much more fierce. Because of the reputation that we pledge to live by, it's necessary to die for who we are. All 13 of them turned back. And the only instructions I gave them was everybody keep running up to the front until he on the ground. That way it would have been an easier opportunity. All of them turned back. And it was just me and 2 more brothers. This nigga got 2 wheelchair pegs, 1 in each hand, and he windmilling like this here. So how did I get in? Because I ran full speed towards it, and I stayed up close to him. So if he try to lean back he can't lean back, because when he lean back, I'm hitting him with that knife. He leaking. You see, when he lean back, I lean in, and you stay close to him. You got to move how he move. Because if you make the wrong move, if he hit you with that peg, with that piece of iron in your head, you suffer to get killed. But this is a battle that got to be done. You see, being on the front line, people ain't easy. But I gave it. And that's the same energy I give towards gang prevention. That's why I was given the other vision and opportunity to say gang prevention revival, just a little bit more to go with it. You understand what I'm saying? See, I'm always increasing. See, the man waters and the man plants and the man waters, but it's God that gives the increase. See, the increase didn't have to be me winning $1 million lottery. What I would have done with $1 million, I would have did nothing but spend it anyway. But instead he gave an increase when he said gang prevention revival. You see the increase? You sure? Because ain't nobody else said it. That one nigga that came from the dark ditches in the alleys of North Gulfport, Mississippi, said gang prevention revival, and all these youth programs that he can that can be manifested into one. Not one leader said. All the ones that got millions for youth programs, advocate this and that. Now, one of them ever said gang prevention revival. Because you know what? It don't matter to them. I said it, and I ain't got nailed down. But I got grace. And that's enough for Musa G. And that's what I'm trying to instill into the people right now, is to get y'all to understand my vision. The only thing that keeps me clean and sober is first the power of vision. See, the power of vision by Miles Monroe. You see, you got to read. And once you read, you study. And once you study, Malcolm said, you learn how to take a word and use it in the right context. And if you read and you come across a word you don't understand, then you get your dictionary and you look that word up. You read the dictionary and put the word in a sentence so you can understand how to use that particular word in the right context so that the right meaning can be made when you speak about it and own it. And nobody can come back and contradict what you say, because the Lord said in Luke 21:15, he said, I will give you words and the wisdom, not even your enemies or your adversaries could resist or contradict. And then the Lord said in the word, he said, any man that is in Christ Jesus, he had to become a new creature. The old things have passed and the new have come. This is what the Lord said. And if you read Matthew 25, the Lord said, I gave him 1 talent, gave you 2 talents, and gave another man 5 talents. You understand what I'm saying? The man with 5 talents brought 5 back. That means when the Lord told Peter to throw his rope, to throw his net on the right side, he said, that's fishing in the sea. But now I'm going to make you fishers of men. So now that you became a fisher of men, and I done gave you 5 talents, you know how to go out and bring 5 more men back. Because the Lord told the people, then I saved 10 of y'all. He said, Kenny, where the other 9 at? I said, Lord, I don't know where they at, but I'm right here. Just like when he saved the blind man that was walking down the streets of Jericho. You understand what I'm saying? The Lord said, what is it that I can do for you? Because he was saying, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And the people told him to be quiet. But the Lord said, don't tell him to be quiet. Because what I'm finna do for him right before your very eyes, you need to see. Just like I saved Kenny. He said, Lord, I just want to see. I said, Lord, I just want to see. I said, Lord, I just want to see. I don't no longer want to be like Matthew 13:13, deaf, dumb, and blind. You understand? So I throw my net on the right side. They throw me off the boat just like Jonah. They said the boat's sinking because of him. We in trouble, y'all, because of him. He running from his purpose. You see? So you got to understand. The Lord gave me opportunity to bring 5 talents back. He gave me an opportunity to manifest. His word is real. His promise is true. He said you will know a new freedom and a new happiness in recovery. When you're not subject to drugs, alcohol, and foolishness. He said you will know a new freedom and a new happiness. He said no matter how far down the scale you went, but you will see how your experiences can benefit others. And you got to be proud about that. You got to be glad about that. To tell them who you was and what you went through. Apostle Paul made it already a way for us. He paved the way. When he was saved. That's what inspired me, brothers and sisters. When I read Paul's letters and seen that he come another person low as me that was saved by grace. Just like when the man was on the side of the road of Jericho saying, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. They said, be quiet. The Lord said, don't tell him to be quiet, because the miracle that I'm going to perform right before your very eyes, you need to see it, so that those that have doubt won't have doubt. He told Lazarus, come out. Mary said he'd been dead for 4 days. The Lord said, come out. And Lazarus walked out. Ooh, boy, if that ain't enough right there for you to be glad about, if that ain't enough for you to be glad about who done brought you out, who done brought you from where you from, the enemy don't want you. The enemy wants your anointing. That's why it's so powerful. The enemy wants your anointing, not you. You don't mean nothing. The enemy wants your anointing so that you don't be able to teach, preach, and reach nothing to nobody. Want to distort your mind so you think you're useless and you're worthless, but you got something more valuable than any gold, silver, anything that you can imagine. Anything you can imagine. The disciples went back and told Thomas, we just seen the Lord in glory, because the Lord told his disciples, I know you love me, but when I leave, you're going to be sad. You're going to be upset. But for a little while, just like a lady giving birth, for a minute she hurt and twisted, she'll hold that baby in her arm, that bundle of joy. Then she glad. So when the disciples seen the Lord, they went back and told Thomas, we just seen the Lord. Thomas said, I got to see him to believe. Thomas, you walked with him for 3 years. You seen him when he told Lazarus to walk out. You seen him when he healed the man been by the pool for 38 years. You seen him when he gave the blind man his sight on the road of Jericho. You seen him when they were going to stone the lady that he told them, let him without sin cast the first stone. You seen him when he healed the other man that was born blind. See, it was 2 of them that was blind. One was made blind and one was born blind. You understand? But both of them was made new. And when the Pharisees came to the Lord to condemn him for his righteousness, to be healing people on the Sabbath day, the Lord said, if your son fell in the well on the Sabbath, ain't you going to pull him out? But you want to condemn me because I heal a man. He said, is it better to do good or to do bad on the Sabbath? Let's be honest. That is made for. Man, come on, man. I mean, if we're going to do it, we got to do it the right way. Not play with it. You got to be ready for this now. You got to be ready for this opportunity. You got to be ready for this chance. And don't treat it like a challenge. It's exactly what it's supposed to be, a chance and an opportunity for you. If you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, wholeheartedly ready, to God be the praise and the glory, man. Y'all have a safe and blessed day, man. Ooh, boy, I feel good, you heard? Y'all have a safe and blessed day, man. Peace and blessings.